Rohit Srivastava is also joining us now to talk more about markets. Rohit, afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. It was a bit of a surprise. Nose diving in the first half, rebounding equally sharp, taking support at 19,300 thereabout. But today's gap up, we clearly seem to have crossed the hurdle of 12, 450, 500. So now, do you think that area will, provide a big support area from here on? Are we done? Have we taken out that level for good, or not clearly?
So see, we are very much at the end of the year, end of the month. There's a huge holiday season coming up where typically volatility dies down. But we are still seeing some momentum specifically because of global equity. So I think whatever you're seeing today, the run up in Nifty or the jump up in Nifty is because of the overnight gains that we saw in the US. But if we generally look at all the indices, both Indian and US, they are all giving us oversold readings on a very basic indicator known as the RSI, which is to say that from the S&P to the NASDAQ to the mid-cap index in India, the RSI for everything is at 85, 83, 82. These are extremely high levels at which typically you would not feel very comfortable, making fresh purchases. And what is not happening, though, is you're not getting even that small pullback right now. And that may have to do with, the year-end buying that is going on and then possibly the holidays. And so what we will really try to do is look for the seasonal effect that comes in typically in January, because January historically has been a weak month. In fact, if I look back at the last 10 years on our, seasonality tool on Strike, we end up seeing that 7 out of 10 years are negative. And that gives you a 70% probability of a downside for the upcoming month, given the overbought readings that we have right now on key indices. So the way to really approach the market, therefore, is to look at booking gains at higher levels and wait for that pullback to really be buying again, and not right now. So creating cash and being more prepared is how we look at the strategy from here.
All right. For a moment, I'll just take a detour. Rohit, I'll come to you in a moment. There's a breaking news which is happening. We are gathering from our sources that Ola Electric is all set to file RHP for its IPO. They will file IPO in the next few hours with the regulator. That's what we gather. So finally, right now, we've been talking about this IPO for some time now, but we understand that 11th hour and 59th minute is it, and in the next few hours right now the top management and the bankers are in the final huddle to file this IPO, and it is likely to happen in the next few hours. What's important is that this is the first EV IPO, auto IPO coming in. Kotak along with Goldman and Citi are heard to be the bankers for this IPO, and this will be the first auto IPO in the last 20 years. Ola Electric. A bunch of stocks in the listed market also have been rallying going into this IPO. Look at how TVS Motors have been rallying. Many others who have a EV play embedded in them, all those stocks, Gensol Electric, all of them have been rallying going into this moment of Ola Electric IPO. So that's the big story which we are gathering right now, important to market. Rohit, let me come to you. This Ola Electric issue, from 1200 odd, TVS ran up to almost 2000 odd, Bajaj as well. They also have a reasonable sized EV plays embedded in them, though are still valued as pure play legacy ICE companies. But Ola IPO coming in will have some impact. Some brokerage have also been writing early notes on it. But how do you see Bajaj and Hero and TVS in the last 3 to 6 month action going into Ola Electric IPO, just on the charts?
Well, see, they've all done well. I don't really go into the IPO space myself, but whatever we've heard about the Ola brand is they've done pretty well. And given that it's a standalone EV, it may get a very, very different valuation from what the others that have it embedded in them may get. That can be a differentiator. So it's very much possible that it ends up having a much higher valuation than the other existing companies because of the sheer attraction towards the EV play business, and therefore that's all I can think of right now.
Okay, let's go back and talk about some of the big stocks right now. Bank Nifty I want to talk to you about. Banks, what happened in the last 2-3 days, SBI, BOB, the larger of the PSUs have started moving. Private, of course, HDFC and Indices are doing okay. Yesterday, Bank Nifty also gave a almost 400-point intraday rally. What do you see the charts on for Bank Nifty and some of these banking names which I spoke about, the setups?
So if I look at Bank Nifty and I just pull up a trend line from the high that we made in December last year to the high that we made in July of this year, and we extended, it comes to around 48,000. Now we are attempting to go above it. I think we closed above it 3 days ago. Then again we are below that, above that. So we need a very clear breakout above 48,000 for the rally in banking to continue. Surely the PSUs joined in, but I think the big play of this time was really the idea that private sector banks that had been lagging behind, like HDFC Bank or Kotak, would actually join in at some point of time, making it more broad-based. Of course, the best performing stocks within the sector have been Axis and ICICI and Indices to some extent. So we always like to look at what's performing and doing well, continues to do well, but it really helps the main indices when the big boys start participating, which was really missing. We saw some of that action, but again, not very clear whether it's out of the woods, because you're not seeing the big stocks really make much of a move. So bringing it back to Bank Nifty, I think unless we really cross 48,000, the next leg up in banking names could get delayed slightly. Only above that would we then anticipate a 49,500 kind of level. If it stays below this point, then we'll start looking for a pullback again to 46,500 or so.
Okay, point taken. Thanks so much, Rohit, for making time and speaking with us. So that's the latest coming in on the technicals of the market. For now, there is a bit of a recovery that we are seeing from the lowest point of the trading session. Actually,